Hello, this is Lacey Rice with Rice Fame Group, bringing you another episode of Chat with HBCU Champions. And today's special guest features Wiley College men's soccer head coach Andrew Benitez. And his squad won the 2025 HBCU Athletic Conference Championship. So, first of all, congratulations, Coach. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that great introduction. Yes, I'm really happy, really excited for what's coming next. It was something that we wanted and we got it.
Okay. So, was this your first championship?
Yes, first championship at Wiley University.
Mhm.
Great feeling. It was my second season in charge. I had to uh, bring many recruits to be
Mhm.
able to achieve it, and we did it. And it's just the feeling of working every day and achieve
Mhm.
that goal is just phenomenal. And now we have proof of it. So I'm really excited. We just got them this week, so really
Oh wow.
excited to give them this ring to those players that help us win the championship.
Okay. Yeah, that ring looks sweet. I like
It
that.
does.
And so, the HBCU Athletic Conference, in its current form, is a pretty new conference. I mean, just by name. Of course, it used to be the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference just a couple of years ago, but now it's the HBCU Athletic Conference, and it expanded. It has to be one of the biggest conferences in all of collegiate sports.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And well, soccer wise,
Hmm.
we only seven universities now and
Hmm.
colleges have soccer programs, and
Hmm.
we are pushing all of them to hopefully bring them. We need competition, we need the soccer, we need exposure out there, and we are happy that Jarvis Christian University just joined the HBCU conference. We won last year the first soccer championship at the HBCU conference, so that's just amazing.
Okay, so you're the
Yes,
inaugural champions of soccer.
it's a soccer HBCUAC. Yep, you're right.
Okay, well nobody can take that away from you.
No, that's what it means so much. It really means it was a new conference. We
Hmm.
have one spot to the nationals, so it was win or win.
Right.
And by winning that championship, it takes you straight to nationals. That was the goal. That was the main goal right there, and we were able to make it.
Okay. So how many? Because I know sometimes the NAIA will take the regular season champion and then they will take the postseason champion.
Correct.
Give both of them automatic bids. How many teams does a conference have to have in order for that to happen?
So you will need 12.
Ah.
12 teams in the conference, and then you have
Mhm.
two spots. And usually it's the postseason and then the regular season champs. And in our case, it's since we have seven, we only
Mhm.
have one spot. But also, you can go at large. So we are trying to play the toughest teams in case we don't win the championship. But I'm pretty confident that it's gonna happen again, the back to back.
Okay. So, Coach, excuse me. Tell us a bit about yourself. What's your background?
So I'm Coach Andrew Benitez. I'm originally from Santiago, Chile, all the way in South America, at the, you know, very bottom. um, I was born there, play 14, 15, my first professional game at the club that I was back then. And around 18, 19 years old, I decided to come and play at the U.S. College level.
Mm-hmm.
So I was once an international student.
Mm-hmm.
I went and I did my bachelor's, I got my master's degrees. I played in a D2 level, won couple championships, went to nationals, won
Mm-hmm.
some NCAA um, regional champs as well. So I'm really,
Mm-hmm.
really excited what I did when I was a player.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I was moving into my career, I decided to, I love coaching. I love to help these young players to grow, to become better at the sport. So I moved to Florida and I started academies in Florida for all ages. And I also coach out there at the UPSL level. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to gain experience as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I opened academies back home too. In Chile, currently I have them too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to move forward and see. I want to be in the other side. I want to be coaching and give back what I once gained from my coaches. So I started
Mm-hmm.
applying and I got to Marshall, Texas, Wiley University, to take the program to the next level. It was definitely a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a challenge. They were club. They didn't compete.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have many players back then, and it
Mm-hmm.
was really, really a challenge that I loved. When they
Mm-hmm.
proposed me the opportunity, I told them, "Give me the opportunity, and I will
Mm-hmm.
take this program and I'm gonna put it at the top." And right now, I'm not there yet. We won, but that doesn't mean it's the job is done. It's so much more to get there to be at the national level.
Okay. Okay. And so you mentioned that it started as a club program.
Correct.
So that meant, um, I guess that the student athletes had to, as a club, the student athletes were pretty much in charge of everything. They,
Well, well, when you start a program,
hmm
it's recommended for you to get 1 2 years as a club to kind of
hmm
see and test, play some junior college, play some scrimmage, and start getting that level because you don't want to go straight to NAIA and
hmm
compete
hmm
when you don't know where you are. So they did have a head coach
hmm
back then that later on moved to an AD position, and
hmm
he was the one that find me and to get the spot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So you've been there in Marshall for a couple years now.
correct.
What's Marshall, Texas like for those of us who don't know?
So it's and I'm gonna tell you a little bit. I moved. I'm from Santiago, Chile.
hmm
Santiago is a big, big, big city, right? You
hmm
got everything. You start walking around, you see so many people, you get
hmm
overwhelmed. Then I moved to Florida. You got the
hmm
sunshine, you got the water, the ocean. It's so beautiful. And then you come over here in Marshall, and we don't have that. It's not a big city. We don't got the ocean, but we have a beautiful institution, a Wiley
hmm
University, that provides education for everybody,
hmm
not for just a little group right here,
hmm
right? Not for those that can afford it. No, we are able to provide education for everybody, and that was one of my main reasons that I can help everybody locally in
hmm
Texas. I can help players from other states, but I can also help players internationally come and get into the system. So Marshall is a small city.
hmm
University has around 1,000 students.
hmm
We've been growing the last couple of years. We are doing actually pretty good. The university is renovating, it's growing, and
hmm
it's looking really nice. And so it's a really nice for me to witness the progress every year.
hmm
City wise, we don't have many distractions. Okay, so I tell my players, you come focus to work in the field, get your goals, and then get your degree. You're not
Mm-hmm.
coming to party. We don't have many parties. We don't have many places to go and see.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have some nice cities around us. We have Shreveport, 40 minutes away. We have Longview, Tyler, Texas, which is 20 and 45 minutes away. So it's really, East Texas is beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
for those people that, they never been here, they don't know what to expect. But you have
Mm-hmm.
lakes, you have places that the nature is just phenomenal. So we have so much to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I like the sense of a community, that we are
Mm-hmm.
small, that professors will know your name, that they will take care of you, coaches will be able to help you, take you
Mm-hmm.
around, and that's what I really love from here.
Okay. So I have to ask this, especially considering recent developments.
Yep.
So Shreveport, 50 Cent is supposed to be the king of Shreveport now.
Oh yeah, 50 cents.
So has he made his way over there to Marshall,
So,
Texas to
well, we're hoping to have him for some homecoming, and I know there's been some talks, and they are being communicating. The marketing department hopefully can get a hold of him. I
Mhm.
know he's aware of Wiley University,
Okay.
and hopefully we can get him here. Yeah, 50 cents, is a legend, so hopefully we can collab with him.
Okay. I mean, because and you never know what might happen. I know there have been athletes and well celebrities who have invested in certain programs. For instance, um, Steph Curry started the golf program at Howard University.
Oh wow.
And he started that because a student asked him about it, doing something one day when Steph was in DC.
Correct.
So you never know what might happen, what interest a person who have certain means might take into a program. So, it would be kind of interesting to see if something could happen with him or maybe another celebrity to invest in your institution.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. Yes, I know that he is aware, and hopefully sometime soon. It's just great to have somebody like him next to us. So hopefully we can get in contact with him and see what we can offer. And our school is it keeps growing. We adding
Mhm.
golf, we adding
Mhm.
flag football. So it's amazing to see the addition of every sports, and we always need help. We always need some investment, fundraising. So it will be a great connection to make. Yeah.
Okay. And you and I talked before we started the interview, and I mentioned that I have familiarity with the NAIA. I've been involved in certain programs and levels with the NAIA. And one thing that has impressed me with the NAIA is the growth of that governing body. I mean, the NAIA offers national championships in competitive cheerleading. It offers um, national championships in a lot of sports that maybe the NCAA doesn't.
Yep.
And so I found that to be very interesting and progressive on the NAIA's part, and maybe a reason why student athlete might want to look at NAIA programs versus others.
Exactly. And the progress for the past, I'll say 3 4 years at NAIA, it's been phenomenal. The way they market, the competition, the
Mm-hmm.
players that we're developing.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting in at least one player in each sport to make it to the professional level. We had a case here in LSUS,
Mm-hmm.
Report playing NAIA, their
Mm-hmm.
number 10, the men's soccer. He just signed a professional contract. So it's right there. NAIA is promoting more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the players, is promoting the schools, and
Mm-hmm.
it's making it more competitive. So it's a win-win, and we love it. I love to see it. NAIA creates the space for the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly asking us if we want to modify anything, if we want to add any laws to the game, and that you don't find that, and it happens every couple months, and we get the updates, and it's just awesome. Actually, NAIA, at least in the soccer side, they were trying to have 48 teams to go to the national tournament. We were trying to push. Right now, it's only 40.
Okay.
So this week, we got the email saying that it wasn't approved. That
Mm-hmm.
only 40 teams will go, mainly because of the same budget.
Mm-hmm.
You have to host more games, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna create, more final finance struggles. But
Mm-hmm.
they're working towards to get it better.
Right.
If it's not now, it could be next year. So at least we can talk. We have the space to propose, and that's all about improvement. Without you can ask, and maybe next time, and if it's next time, it's just fine.
Wow. So are they coming directly to you, coaches, and asking you for input?
Yeah, they do ask for our opinion. We vote. We have conferences every year, or they will send an email for every coach to vote on different laws that we want to change. That, for example, we will have more games allowed to play on the spring. We usually have 3 games, and we're moving it to 6 games to give more experience, to give more games to our
Mm-hmm.
players. It might benefit the experience, but also budget wise.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go across the state, the states all the way to Florida or California,
Right.
and spend all your money for the fall. You just want to be mindful and maybe play a team which is an hour away from you. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as you keep your mind playing closer games, you should be able to do so. So that I'm really happy. I'm excited to play more games in the spring, and I wish we could play the entire year, right? The
Mm-hmm.
entire spring and the fall, but it's fine the way it is now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because that now I do also interview like tennis coaches and some other sport, and they do play an entire year.
Tell me about it, huh?
It's, yeah, it's not an easy thing.
It is not. Yeah, it is exhausted. It is. You're gonna get tired, but when you love what you do, you don't want it to stop. You want to keep going, and you want to have those players get experience, because at the end, playing one season in the fall is not enough. You have to wait 8 7 months to get to another season, and
Right.
sometimes that doesn't help those players. The athletes, they used to play it every single day and
Mm-hmm.
practice, and then they go to a spring where you don't have that many practices, you don't have that many games. So what does is it just doesn't benefit the player and the student. So it could be a beneficial, but also it's gonna be more work on us. So it's a 50-50.
Okay. So you're from Chile, and I imagine that soccer is that the main sport there in Chile?
Main sport. That's right.
Okay, and well, I mean, and when you look at the grand scheme of thing, soccer is the most popular sport around the globe. So, um, what is the main difference between the style of play in Chile and the style of play here in the United States?
Well, when it comes to styles, Chile plays more possession wise.
Mm-hmm.
We like to keep the ball, to move the ball around, and then create the opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. style, and you can have different coaches, right? We have so many universities, we have pro teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find it more direct, which is
Mm-hmm.
just fine. It means you go straight to the goal and try to create opportunities right away. You
Mm-hmm.
don't take, you don't think too much with the ball. You don't keep the ball and create. You just go straight. And those are the two main styles that I find it's really different. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, coaches are playing more possession games, are creating more, are bringing more tactics and playing, and it's amazing to see when
Mm-hmm.
you play a team that is great and
Mm-hmm.
that you know the coach is trying everything to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just make you work harder, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
so that feeling that, oh wow, this is gonna be hard because this coach and this team is, we have to do something different. That's when true coaches come alive, and it happened with Paul Quinn. We had a semifinal this past year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have an amazing coach. He just took over,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew that he didn't have the team to beat me
Mm-hmm.
and me and my team, but he made it really difficult for us to beat them. He would have had the game because he's a really smart coach and he played the game differently. So it was really hard for me to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, that makes a great championship. So at the end of the game, I went to him and I said, "Well, you could have had this game." And it's just amazing to see what other coaches propose in all the sports, right? I can talk about soccer all day, but um, it's different from all the sports.
Right.
And let me tell you something that I tell other coaches from other sports.
Mm-hmm.
So in soccer, if you can get a yellow card and you can get a red card,
Right.
right? Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what a yellow card is?
The yellow cards, that more like a warning.
Warning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got a warning. Okay, next time I get you a red card. What's the red card?
A red card is when you have to sit out.
You're out, but you cannot stop him. So you play with a man down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. So what happens if you play basketball game and you get a red card, which you don't have cards, but you get a red card,
You can substitute.
you get stopped, or you
Yeah.
play with one man down.
Yeah.
You don't play
Well,
with a
that.
man down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really tough because when you play with a man down, everything change. You
Right.
can play with two men down. You can play with three men down. So it's something that I personally would like to change. It is not gonna change anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take a look in any sport,
Mm-hmm.
tennis is
Mm-hmm.
a single sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get yellow, you don't get red cards. You can
Mm-hmm.
see baseball, you don't get yellow, you don't get red cards.
Right.
You can so it's really one rule that could benefit because we can keep the fair in the game. The fair. We want it to be fair. We want to compete, but when you play with one man down in any
Mm-hmm.
sport,
Mm-hmm.
it's really tough to overcome.
Mm-hmm. So in Chile, the way they play in Chile, are you're able to substitute with the red card?
No, you're out.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you're
you're
out.
out.
Okay. Okay. I got it. I got it. Yeah, because I always, I mean, I'll watch soccer from time to time, especially with the internationals and some of the friendlies, and I always hear the announcers talking about, the well, so and so just got a yellow card, and oh, so and so's on the verge of getting a red card, and and I'm like, okay, so what? Red card, they got to sit out for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm thinking more like hockey.
Yeah,
Like in hockey, you got the penalty box,
yeah.
and so yeah, you're out, but you're only out for a certain amount of time, and then you come back into the
Couple
contest.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, that's interesting. To hear what you're saying, because I said, in basketball, you get on a collegiate level, you get 5 fouls, then you're disqualified for the rest of the game, but
Yeah.
somebody else can substitute for you. On the pro level, it's 6 fouls, and then someone else can substitute for you.
Correct.
But like you said, if you're a whole person down, that calls for different strategies and everything.
Yeah.
And I can imagine around that time too is like, and this is just me. Maybe I might be different than most of you soccer players. If I had a teammate who got a red card, I'm gonna be side eyeing that teammate for quite a while, and we gonna have some words at the end of the
Yeah,
contest.
yeah, and it's tough because it's gonna we don't have cameras, we don't have anything that can help us. So the referee, whatever call he makes, it
Hmm.
is. And referees are humans, and
Right,
they make mistakes. So
right.
when you see a mistake happen, and you can do much about it because you cannot stop. I'm okay with him coming out,
Hmm.
but that means my whole plan
Hmm.
is just change, and I had to do something else. So, and we see it at the pro level, and we see at the college level. So
Hmm.
it's something that I personally feel that it will change with the years to
Hmm.
make it more fair for everybody. Okay, because I don't want obviously when the other team gets a man's down, me
Hmm.
I'm really happy because I know I got this game, but it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't be playing and trying to get the other team to get a red card and then we win.
Hmm.
I rather win 11 versus 11 in a
Hmm.
good way than just winning because I have one man up. So it's different, and I wanted to mention that to you because I know many people say, "Oh, you get a red card, maybe 5 minutes out."
Hmm.
It's the whole game.
Man, that is rough.
It
That
is.
is rough. And I mean, well, because on a whole, too, a soccer match is that's a long time.
In Texas with the hot
Yeah.
90 minutes. Yeah, it's 45 minutes halves,
Hmm.
and you can have extra time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Depending on if we waste any time, but it is really hot, and also it is well at the national level we made it last year.
Hmm.
Our first game, our first round,
Hmm.
we played in Tennessee.
Hmm.
5 minutes in, my goalkeeper got a red card. We played 85 minutes with one man down. So would it be possible? Yes.
Hmm.
We lost only 1-0, and we kept the game 0-0 for most of the for the entire first half.
Hmm.
So it was impressive, but it was a game that I knew it was going to be really hard to win.
Hmm. Hmm.
Was it right? I wasn't with the referee.
Hmm.
I think the referee made the wrong decision.
Hmm.
5 minutes in, you cannot give a red card. You can
Hmm.
you can give a warning. So, and I
Hmm.
also ref. So that's
Right.
that it makes me more mad, right?
Right.
I ref high school, so I'm like, that's a bad call,
Yeah.
And in the moment at the national level,
Hmm.
I'm like trying to contain myself, and I did.
Hmm.
But it should have been that way. But it is what it is, right? You learn from those mistakes.
Hmm. Well, that's something that we have in common because as a former track coach, during most of my track coaching career, I was also an official.
There you go.
And so, and I officiated several levels. Um, and, uh, and so, yeah, you don't want to be critical of your peers,
Yeah,
but then, if you see something bad happen,
yeah.
bad call's bad call. So I definitely understand that.
Exactly. And I treat them nice because I know what is to be in there, and referees and officials. It's a hard job.
Yeah.
You're never right for any team. So it's something that I try to contain myself again. I try to think and to take a big
Hmm.
deep breath, and okay, that's fine. But in that moment, playing at that level,
Yeah.
it is definitely um, something that you don't expect. But you learn, and you move on.
Well, you mentioned, that it's an hour and a half, 45-minute halves, and just watching it, you watching athletes go back and forth, up and down the field and everything. And I know there are offsides,
Yes.
but as far as officials, the officials have to run the entire field, don't they?
So you have the main official in the
Mm-hmm.
center, and then you have two on the each side, and they are the ones that they watch the offsides. But again, that's when the issue comes. Many offsides is gonna be upon what he sees, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the players are faster than the official.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not there to truly see who is offside or who is not. So um, it's definitely something that we can work. But now with technology,
Yeah.
at least at the pro level, you have cameras, so the official can be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but they have somebody that can tell him, "Hey, he's on side, so the goal is good."
Mm-hmm.
At the college level, last year they
Mm-hmm.
tried to implement at the end of the national
Mm-hmm.
games. They implemented some videos, and it's called BER, right?
Okay.
So we were able to get some help, but at the end,
Mm-hmm.
teens and humans, we all make mistakes. So
Yeah.
we just try to win the game the way it is played, and hopefully, it doesn't go. It goes the way we want.
Right. Right. So, and staying on with Chile, when you came here to the United States to play, considering the differences in the style, how hard was it for you? How difficult was it for you to adjust?
It was difficult, and not because of the style.
Mm-hmm.
It was because of the diversity,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you just don't. I don't play with local players only. You
Mm-hmm.
got players from Texas, players from Florida, players from Uganda, from Japan, from Italy, from South Africa, from Chile, Brazil, and you get everybody in the same team. Some of them might not speak the best English, right? Some of them might not even talk. They speak great English, but they're so quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest challenge, it was communication,
Mm-hmm.
and it was to get everybody in the same mindset
Mm-hmm.
of the same way. So you
Mm-hmm.
can have players from all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
but if you as a coach cannot get them to play the same way you want them to play, because it's not five, it is
Right.
11. We have 11 players in that field.
Mm-hmm.
They all have to have that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the chemistry, you're good. You don't have to coach much.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching points are right there in practice before the season, through the season, to get them together. Maybe do team bonding, maybe have some meetings with them, get
Mm-hmm.
them to get together.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they're not together, you can see that in the field.
Ah.
So
Okay.
that's the main challenge for coming back from my country. It's just the diversity and how to get everybody to speak the same language, which will be soccer,
Right.
right?
Right.
Soccer will be that same language in this case.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you're now coaching, you're head coach, and you've got the success. What does your team look like?
Oh, diverse. I love it. I love they from all over, really diverse, which means a lot of work for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have players that are really young, 18,
Mm-hmm.
freshmen coming in, and I have players with a lot of experience, 25 years old, 24 years
Mm-hmm.
old. So when you
Mhm.
combine ages,
Mhm.
culture, you have to assign them. You have
Mhm.
to know the players that you can trust, the players that they can lead the team, and you have to give them responsibilities, right?
Mhm.
And then you have to daily talk to them and mentor, because they will see and they will talk to me and they will say, Coach, um, some of my teammates, they're younger than us and they just want to go and party, they just want to go and have fun. How can we fix this? And I said, well, you were once 18. Did you
Mhm.
want it to party, or you just wanted to? Oh, Coach, you're right. Okay, well, how can we fix that?
Mhm.
And then you try to help them understand that yes, right now they're 24, 23, they have other goals. But
Mhm.
when you're younger, sometimes you need the leadership of somebody. Hey, I was once there and it didn't help me. Trust
Mhm.
me, put the work, be there with us, and everything, the opportunities will come. So it's and I didn't mention this, but one of the biggest success for
Mhm.
us,
Mhm.
I created a research team, a JV program.
Ah.
Okay, so I had more than 40 players total, which makes the competition better,
Right.
just better, because everybody wants to fight, everybody wants to give their best and be the starter.
Mhm.
But with that also comes a lot of work as a head coach, because everybody wants to play
Right.
and not everybody will be happy. So you have to mentor them, you have to let them know the why.
Mhm.
Lately, this past year, I started doing more data on
Mhm.
their completed passes, incompleted passes,
Mhm.
assisted goals, saves, all the data that I could provide so they can see how they perform. Because when you see data
Mhm.
and when you see your coach opinions, it's,
Mhm.
it's just different.
Mhm. Mhm.
Coaches, we never, I'll say, we are not always right,
Right.
okay? And we cannot see everything. We don't see everything. So if you come to me after the game and say, Coach, how did I do? I don't remember. But the data does.
Right.
I can tell them you did great, but that doesn't mean I'm not giving them any feedback. But if I give them the data,
Mhm.
you had 80% completed passes, and the player next to you had 95%. Who's doing better? There you go.
Mhm.
So they can ask and they can answer themselves through the data.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to implement data more, trying to get maybe during the practices and during the games so they can answer and ask themselves. And
Okay.
obviously giving their advice. So that was one of the biggest success for us, having
Mhm.
two teams.
Okay. So and please correct me if I'm wrong. So I imagine that your JV players are not on scholarship, but your varsity players are.
It's, I'll say, 75% JV players, they get scholarships, and
Okay.
you might my best player was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be at the JV.
Mm-hmm.
He came, did great. He ended up in the first team.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes. Obviously, the better players are the ones that play and also get more scholarships. So when I recruit, and especially now after being champions, I'm
Mm-hmm.
recruiting players and I want them to perform here, and then them asking for scholarships. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to provide because I made a couple mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I provide scholarships to
Mm-hmm.
players that didn't really perform that well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that happens to every single coach out there.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to avoid it is to watch them perform for one season.
Mm-hmm.
You do great academically, you do great playing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna offer you more. I'm gonna help you getting more
Mm-hmm.
exposure, getting more aid. But if you don't, then I'll move on with somebody else. I still give you the opportunity to play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's definitely a challenge that I had. Right now, I feel really comfortable the way the system is going,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's giving results.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm.
we are able to win games. So hopefully next year we are able to do the same.
Okay. I used to at various conferences. I used to teach um, NAI. Well, I used to teach collegiate recruiting, and so part of that was getting coaches, high school coaches, to understand that there are limitations on scholarships or on scholarship uh, equity, or however you want to term it. What is the limitation on scholarships in the NAIA?
So NCAA's definitely you will have your limitations. NAIA, and that's one of the reasons I took this job. We have more flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
We decide, obviously, with our university or
Mm-hmm.
EPs, especially the business office,
Mm-hmm.
to decide what the budget is for us to spend. We can obviously, if I want it, I can bring 20 players full ride,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't help the university. That doesn't help me because I'm going to lose my job,
Right. Right.
right? Right now, I truly have a little budget and I have to work with that. I do not give full rights. It is something that it is not there.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make the most out of what I have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we have limitations, but they're not NAIA limitations. They are university, and which you have to understand because we have expenses. We do have to travel. We
Mm-hmm.
do have to spend in our gear, equipment. So at the end, we do have to try to limit our budget. But with that being said, um, university has been really great on letting me decide where I put or my scholarships on the way the system that I'm growing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really thankful because I was able to achieve these thanks to those opportunities that they were able to provide to me.
Okay. So I know a lot of programs will combine athletic and academic scholarships. Is that one of the things that you do to maybe bring an athlete up to full scholarship in the university?
No, we are not able to stack any
Mm-hmm.
scholarships. It's either athletics or it's either academic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we are not able to combine them, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but we do have great academic scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
We have an honors program, but
Mm-hmm.
if you come here and you get soccer, then you are not able to get academics. We do have other um, organizations, non-profits,
Mm-hmm.
that are able to provide help to those students
Mm-hmm.
that they need. But at university for the past well, I might be mistaken, but it's been several years that
Mm-hmm.
they keep the same tuition amount.
Oh wow.
It's 17,500
Mm-hmm.
for room and board and
Mm-hmm.
tuition. So
Okay.
it's really a great um, prize as a
Mm-hmm.
university for everything that we give them. And also, as a new student, we are able to provide you with an Apple iPad and an Apple Pencil and an Apple keyboard where you will have all your homework. You will have all your classes. So truly, you don't have to be buying any books. Everything will be in your iPad. And there's no excuse for you to not do your homework.
Right. Right.
So it's a good way for me to bring players to recruit, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why I've been able to bring quality players as well.
Okay. All right. So that, I mean, that's good to know. and of course Wiley's not the only institution that does either or. I know several institutions that do that. But then again, like I said, I also know several institutions that combine. And
Correct.
so, but yeah, that's always a good thing to know. And so, tell us about some of your key athletes.
I will mention one of my keys, my center back. He is a senior.
Mm-hmm.
He already graduated actually. His name is Malik Bascom. He is from Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
He's 6'5", huge, strong, really aggressive player.
Mm-hmm.
He's a defensive player, so really helped me on that defense line and push the team up. Great player. He's from Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's a U.S. citizen too. He had both dual citizens,
Okay.
and he is a great player and also a great um, student. He's involved with the university. He's always doing all his homework. He's a really shy
Mm-hmm.
person with the team, but when it comes to soccer, he's one of the best inside. Great player to have. And then I'm gonna move to one of the midfielders, key players. He is Rintaro Sakai.
Mm-hmm.
He is from Japan.
Okay.
He's gonna be a senior this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
He is short, small, the opposite of Malik, right? Small, short, skinny, but he's one of the smartest players that I've seen. He can
Mm-hmm.
play one touch, which means he can play right away. To play
Mm-hmm.
one touch, it means you already know where to go once they pass you the ball. And that's really hard. He can
Mm-hmm.
play one touch, two touches.
Mm-hmm.
He managed the team. And also outside, he has a 4.0 or 3.7 GPA.
Mm-hmm.
He does great in class.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really great player to have. And my MVP, the last player that I will mention, he was All American. All American.
Okay.
He's from Honduras. Raised in Honduras, moved to the U.S. when he was younger, really young,
Mm-hmm.
and his family is in Houston, and he's playing in a USL 2 league right now. He's killing it. He's
Mm-hmm.
playing in the summer league, and he's a winger. He scored plenty of goals. He assisted. He's All American.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite players to watch. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, one of those players that you have to push to go to class. Wake up, go to class. He's doing much better,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad that I was able to recruit him my first season, and he's been with me this past year. So I'm really happy. Hopefully, I get to keep him because there were schools trying to take him away.
Mm-hmm.
Some D1 schools, some D2 schools. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I get to keep him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess that's one of the issues I've had with intercollegiate athletics over the past so many years, especially coming out of COVID, has been with the NIL and the transfer portal and all this because, and this, of course, this is just my opinion. My last degree is in sports management, and one of the research papers that I did talked about. I think we talked. It talked about coaches because of that particular. And I'm not going to name any of the coaches, but there were several coaches of major programs and major sport in revenue sports who were leaving their team almost during the middle of the season. Before the year was over. Actually, we just saw one of the ones that was a subject of that paper just did it again this past season in his sport.
Oh, wow.
During the season, team is competing for a national championship. He just ups and leaves for another program,
Oh, wow.
and it's like, okay. where is the loyalty? At one point, in sports across every level, that was important. Loyalty. And at that particular time, they were always preaching about loyalty of the student athletes. They need to be loyal to the program. Okay, they're loyal. You preaching for them to be loyal, but you're not preaching the same thing for your coaches. That's a problem. And so they let it ride, and now you're not even preaching loyalty of the athletes to the program. So, where does this go? Because if they don't make it to the pros, in which there are a lot of pros who aren't loyal, but if they don't make it to the pros, they have to work somewhere.
Yep.
And most employers are looking for employees who are loyal. So where is it taught now?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So like I said, that's just one of the things that kind of that gets to me. And I said, talking to other coaches too, who are affected by NIL. Revenue sports for the Big Four, Big Four conference, they got a whole lot of money to spend on these athletes.
Yeah.
But where does that leave the lower divisions? Where does that leave the NAIA, the USCAA, the NCCAA? Because those programs can't afford to pay players like that.
No.
So, it was interesting. You mentioned, the possible challenge you might have with keeping your best player.
Oh yeah, and it's always a challenge. So
yeah,
and as a coach, you want the best for them too. You wanna advise them. You want them to have other opportunities. And but I also I tell them what it takes. It's not always greener on the other side. You have to know that other challenges will come, and if you are fully committed to it, then you have to show um, what you're capable of. So I'm excited for my players to have opportunities, and hopefully I can provide more for them, and they can graduate. I want them to graduate. That's the first goal. I want them to become champions. That's the second goal. But I also want them to be somebody that can think on their own.
Right.
Think on what do you want to do. Pro is not the only option. Everybody wants to make it pro, but what else do you want to do? Do you want to open a business? Do you want to work on a business? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to get married? Get a house? What are the goals that you have? Because some of these players and students, they need somebody to push them a little bit. And then they sometimes in the age 18 and 20, 21, they don't want to listen to their parents. They don't want to listen to them. And they have their coaches, and we coaches have to make sure help them with that.
Right. And so, with that being said, and you kind of mentioned it earlier about the time that you have to spend with them. Is it such that it's almost like you're raising a family with your players, no matter how old they are?
Correct. Yes, it's you worry about them 24/7. They tell you stuff, and then they expect you to know the right answer. And then sometimes I tell them I'm human too, and I need somebody to coach me as well. And when it comes to and you mentioned to me before the live about mental health. We coach, but who's coaching the coach? And I remember last year we had an HBCU conference, and we talk about that. And we had coaches mention that sometimes we have to take on so much and we got a coach, but also, like you mentioned, treat them as a family. They have problems, we need to advise them. But who is advising us sometimes on our health?
Mm-hmm.
We can be there all day. Soccer is a tough sport because you have to be out there with the
Mm-hmm.
sun, and it gets really hot. So
Mm-hmm.
who is helping those coaches? And I try to find ways. I try to mentor myself to read, to watch videos, to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But I should be, probably in other conferences and other levels there is a mental health focus on coaches,
Mm-hmm.
um, because we have also breaking point,
Right.
and I haven't reached that breaking. I don't want to reach the breaking point, right? But to know reach that point, you have to help yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love my players. I help them. In fact, if one of them um, comes and say, "Hey, coach, it's my birthday," I try to get everybody some kind of dinner
Mm-hmm.
or take them out, because I know how hard it is to be far from your family
Yeah.
and spend that birthday. So sometimes, this is little gestures, but that's something that I try to do. Birthdays, or take them out, give them rides. It
Mm-hmm.
is tough when you are away from family. And then
Right.
coaches, we want them to perform, but we forget that they also need that family. And
Mm-hmm.
if families somewhere overseas or somewhere in another state or four or
Mm-hmm.
5 hours away, the only family they have is us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't want to be part of that, then you shouldn't be coaching. You know.
Right. Right. So since you mentioned it already, what do you do at Wiley when it comes to mental health? For your athletes and for your coaches.
So we coaches. It's right now we two coaches. We're pushing to have two more. So hopefully four. Um, we talk to them daily.
Mm-hmm.
We have daily interactions. I'll say I call them constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we do have a counselor at the university. I'm not gonna say names, but one of my best players um, had a change from one season to another season. He
Mm-hmm.
fell down. He wasn't feeling himself. He wasn't enjoying practice. He will come to me and, coach, I don't know what's wrong, what's happening. So it's something that is out of my hands, and I can recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to help him and send him with a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
We have an amazing counselor at the university. She was able to help him out. Had a
Mm-hmm.
couple sessions a week with him, and she decided that it was better for him to move on online.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, that's my first case of recognizing and being able to help on time one of my players.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've been educating myself more. We had a professional came over to Wiley University last
Mm-hmm.
week. He
Mm-hmm.
was able to, not just for coaches but for everybody in the faculty and staff.
Mm-hmm.
So the university is giving more resources. Coaches, we have to find more resources because it's a serious. It could be a serious problem, and
Mm-hmm.
when you don't recognize little things that can make the difference, later it can be worse. And I'm sure you probably know more with other coaches' stories. Um, and again, on my story, I try to prevent, but I'm not a professional. But
Mm-hmm.
I try to recognize, and that's the best that we can do as a coaches to prevent situations. um, and you have to be able to talk to them. because they're not robots, right? You
Right.
gotta talk to them. How is the day going? What are you doing tomorrow? Any plans? How is the family? And then you recognize, okay, something is off.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't take the time uh, to not just be coach, but be a friend and be a mentor to them,
Mm-hmm.
you will not be able to recognize and to prevent.
Right. Right. And unfortunately, this has become a major part of our interviews because of situations I've been privy to in the past. And and was able to see the trend that was happening, and then of course things that happened that they came out in the news, because I guess in general, if a general population student commits suicide, you might hear about it in the local newspapers or something like that. But if a cheerleader commits suicide, which just happened, that's national news. If another athlete commits suicide, that's immediately international. I mean, national news.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, so this is a potential problem. And then one of the institutions, one of the programs that had a person to commit suicide, I actually witnessed another athlete, actually a teammate. I actually witnessed a teammate try to commit suicide online on Facebook Live.
Oh wow.
And thank God, when I talked to that student athlete, thank God he jerked his arm, or else we wouldn't have had that conversation.
Oh wow.
And so, I got involved with some of the coaches, the coach of those student athletes. We talked, and I got some background on what was happening and everything. And it wasn't two athletes, it wasn't three athletes, it was a whole bunch of athletes across multiple sports who were on the suicide watch.
Oh wow.
And so, that's why, this section of the interviews is always important to me, because I always hate seeing someone younger than me pass. It's very hard for me to take. And so, yeah, and just knowing that our different programs do have uh, people in place, have resources in, because that particular program at that particular time had no resources,
Oh wow.
had no one there. The university had no one there. But within, I think maybe not, I think another year after that, then they had a full department to help, students and help athletes.
Correct. Oh
But yeah, my thing was, you should have had that in the beginning, because I know you had people there. Why you let them go? That's a mystery to me. But it was just unfortunate. So, but thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that your athletes have someone who they can talk to, and
yep.
that you are proactive in addressing situations. So, but let's switch on real quick, um because we're getting close on time, but let's switch real quick and let's talk about Wiley. What are some of the major academic programs there?
So our criminal justice program, it's one of the most popular, together with business administration, biology.
Mm-hmm.
We we have great professors at the university.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that help them also through internships and trying to get them. And one of the main things for our president is to get them ready for the
Mm-hmm.
job, ready to graduate and move on. And that's what they're trying to focus on. They want them to be able to just learn, get all your classes ready. But once you graduate, you have to be somebody that can be ready to go. And I'm on with that. I feel that sometimes 4 years, 5 years, or depending how long it gets you graduate, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
get you ready.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get them ready through those years for
Mm-hmm.
them to go anywhere, take a job and perform and get success,
Mm-hmm.
um, we should be able to do so. So Wiley does do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really that close to the faculty on that side, so I couldn't really tell you exactly, all the academics. But
Mm-hmm.
um, what I've heard from all my players is that professors, they help them,
Mm-hmm.
they take care of them, and in a
Mm-hmm.
way that if you don't come to class, why didn't you come class?
Mm-hmm.
They will text them, they will go find them. We also have success coaches that make sure they go to class and
Uh-huh.
they get enrolled in the right classes. And
Mm-hmm.
I honestly I like that too, because having coaches, they're
Mm-hmm.
called success coaches, to
Mm-hmm.
help them to make sure they finish their classes, they finish their homework, and that give us to the coaches someone to lead on to, because it's not just us pushing them, it's a whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Those success coaches, they send me notifications every 2 3 weeks. Hey coach,
Mm-hmm.
these are your players that
Mm-hmm.
are not passing their classes. you
Right.
know Professors, they will call me, hey coach, did you let this student leave early? And I said no, you
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you gotta do. So the relationship with them is great.
Mm-hmm.
Academically, university is doing awesome. I don't know if you were aware, but Wiley University used to be Wiley College for 140 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
moved to Wiley University. Now we offer masters in business, master in criminal justice, and masters in education.
Okay.
And I believe the university is also moving forward to get the doctorate programs at the university. So that's great as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah,
so I'll have to change my title from Wiley College to Wiley University. So
yeah, yeah. Why it's Wiley University now, so we have to change it.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And it's always awesome when I hear about our HBCUs who are transitioning from college status to university status. Because, like you said, to become a university, you have to offer graduate degrees. And so, that is great. And I imagine that will enable Wiley to retain some of the students who graduated from there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, our program as now they are fully online. Uh,
Ah.
and and I know we are, at least in our team, we have one man and one woman graduating from a master's. So it's great as well. They went from the bachelor's to straight to the master's.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. That's great. So I'm definitely will have to track Wiley to see what the developments are there. Because yeah, we're talking about athletics, but it's an institution for academics. That's first and foremost. You
Correct.
know, it's an academic institution, and so and I imagine that helps your profile as well because now, of course, you'll be able to recruit more, I guess, graduate students if they have eligibility left, and
Correct.
So,
Yeah, it gives plenty of different opportunities to get grad
mm-hmm,
assistant coaches, get
mm-hmm,
grad players. So it definitely helps. It definitely helps.
mm-hmm. Wow. And so, as far as the people who have influenced you, because we never talked about any of them. Who are some of the major people who influence you?
Well, mother and father. Uh, my mother was definitely influenced me my entire life. She's one of the first. Her, my mother, and my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first two women in a university in Chile to graduate from a lawyer degree. So they're lawyers. And in a moment where Chile was coming from a really tough situation,
Mm-hmm.
uh, not many women were allowed to study.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's something really impressive that I had to the standards for her were right here and I needed to be up here. So she was always teaching me the right way and helping
Mm-hmm.
me grow. And that's definitely something that influenced me the long way. And then when it comes to coaching, I had my first coach. He is one of main historic players and in Chile. He played for the national team a while
Mm-hmm.
ago. He's already probably like 70 years old now. But he recruited me. He made me play it, and he taught me that believing in you is one of the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can be as good, you can be the best player, but if you don't believe on yourself, nobody
Mm-hmm.
will, and then
Mm-hmm.
you will not move forward. So and that comes to everything in life. Believing in yourself as a coach, as a player, as a leader, as a father, as a
Mm-hmm.
brother. You have to believe that you are capable of
Mm-hmm.
doing, of helping, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely that it sticks with me, and I do that every day. I believe in me.
Mm-hmm.
There might be coaches out there, and I tell this to my players with more experience, better than me, but I'm gonna try my best to be better than them.
Right.
And you gotta try your best to be better than those players. So it's a it's a believing. I tell
Mm-hmm.
them we're going to nationals, we're going to be champions.
Mm-hmm.
And if I tell them 5, 7 times a day, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
start believing it. They're gonna start becoming champions, even without being champions.
Right.
And that's the mindset I try to put on my players because that's the
Mm-hmm.
mindset I live with. I'm gonna be the best. I need to wake up and beat, life and work and pay the bills and
Mm-hmm.
try to enjoy my time.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I believe, I know
Mm-hmm.
I can. So um, I'm happy with where I'm right now. My goal as a coach is to be able to be at the professional level in maybe within 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hopefully at some point also coach maybe within 20 years at the
Mm-hmm.
national level, uh,
Mm-hmm.
national country, my national country.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my goals,
Okay.
long-term goals, 10 to 20. So you will be doing a podcast maybe 10, 20 years from now, and I'll be coaching a national team.
Okay. 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 Well, when you get up there, don't forget us.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't forget any of us down here. So, let's say as we prepare to wind down, I do know just a little bit more about Chile. So what is like? What's the weather like? What's the land like that? Because let's say that's at the tip. of South America.
Yep.
If you go any further, you're going to be in Antarctica.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, right there. So Chile is literally like a chili. You know, this is
mm-hmm,
let's say this is a chili. So it's
mm-hmm,
oh, it's long,
mm-hmm,
and then you got Argentina next to it. So
mm-hmm,
you go north. We have this is really it's gonna be really hot,
mm-hmm,
and then Santiago, the main city, will be right in the middle. And
mm-hmm.
what's fun is that you have all the Pacific Ocean, right?
Right.
And then you have the mountains. We call the Cordilleras, or Los Andes, which is beautiful, big
Mm-hmm,
mountains that you can see from anywhere. So
mm-hmm,
you got the mountains, you can have snow, and then
mm-hmm,
within couple hours, you're next to the ocean.
mm-hmm.
You know, it takes you 1 hour, 30 minutes to go to the ocean or to the mountains or to the big city.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go all the way down, and that's the south. It's gonna be really cold out here. Okay, you have beautiful volcanoes, beautiful places,
Uh-huh.
the glaciers that you can see. It's amazing. So literally, you have everywhere around,
Uh-huh.
and then all the way here, there is a little island. It's called Easter Island.
Oh yeah, yeah.
6 hours by airplane. Beautiful. I've been there, and it's
Mm-hmm.
one destination that I believe is one of my best places that I've ever been. Beautiful island, uh,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful weather. So, well, actually, we have 4 seasons too.
Mm-hmm.
As it's getting hotter right now here in the US,
Right.
it's getting colder in Chile. So
Mm-hmm.
over there is gonna be winter, over here is gonna be summer.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, cause,
always the opposite.
yeah, because the equator kind of separates everything, separates the seasons and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why, because I really never talked to anyone from there. And so I never got to ask that question because, like I said, I do know it's close to Antarctica.
Correct.
And I know that I believe that the waterway in between Chile and Antarctica is very rough
Yep.
because I forgot who it was, but someone famous in history. I remember they was trying to find a way around or something. They got messed up down there, and what one of the early explorers.
Correct.
Um, and so yeah, that is. I'm gonna have to visit one day.
It's a beautiful country, and it's so well developed. It's
Hmm.
just amazing to see the progress. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, if you have the chance to visit, it's just a
Hmm.
beautiful place, beautiful city. I always miss it. I
Hmm.
I'm constantly, talking to my wife and see, hey, we might go and live there, one day. My family's there.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's just amazing, amazing. And we don't know what to do because my wife, she's from Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
She's from here, so it's also difficult for her to make that decision, to go live
Oh,
over.
okay, okay. Well, Coach, as we prepare to wind down, this is the part when we have the coaches to give shout outs to anyone who they want to shout out. So,
All
have at it.
right.
Anyone you want to shout out.
Shout out to my assistant coach, Coach Laura Lopez. She was able to help me through the past season, and one of the reasons we were able to be champions. So with her help, to all my players, all my champions, women's team. They did a phenomenal season. They should have been champions as well, and we will bring it home this year. They
Mm-hmm.
already know that, so shout out to them and my family that I was able to see them not long ago too. My wife, that she's my first supporter, and everybody at the university that is always welcoming with um, big smile and helping me, getting all these players to come here, getting them ready to to win another championship. So thank you so much for having me here, and hopefully we look forward to see you next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so we as well want to thank you, Coach, for coming on, spending time with us, for us be able to learn a bit about your story, your philosophy, and your team. And we also want to thank you, the viewing audience, for taking your time to watch us as we have this conversation and for supporting us. We do still encourage you to like, share, and to comment on what you've seen today. Tell us how you like it, and because without you, there would be no us, and we would have no reason to keep going. Because this is our fifth season, and we do hope to have at least five more. And so we want everyone to please share and get the word out about Rice Fame Group and about our chat with HBCU champions, because champions like Coach Benitez deserve the exposure, and they deserve all the rewards that come from their hard work of being champions. And with that said, we wish everyone a blessed week.